Hey guys, Ryan King here with Worship Artistry, and today I want to talk about how to transpose your keys. Now, learning how to transpose into different keys, and when I say transpose, that means you're just changing from one key to another. So instead of playing a song in the key of C, you're going to play it in the key of D flat, or you're going to play it in the key of F sharp. And that can kind of be a little intimidating for a lot of people. I know a lot of keyboard players who say, well, I just don't play the black keys because they just don't know how to. And the reason is because they've just never done it before. So, and you don't want to limit yourself to that. You definitely want to learn all of your chords in every key. You've got 12 keys there. You've got C, D flat, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, and B, and then it starts over again with C. And in every single one of those, you've got chords that are very similar to each other. You've got major chords, you've got minor chords, and so on. And in each one of those 12 keys, you basically have, you've got 7 scale degrees, but you've got 6 kind of foundational chords. What I mean by that is in the key of C, you know we've got C major, and we have F major, G major, and C major. And so C is the 1 of the chord, and I'll talk about this in a second. So you got C, which is the 1, and then F, which is the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is 5. And you've got A minor. It's an A minor 7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 6 chord. A minor. You got D minor. This is actually a D minor 7 chord. So that's the 2 chord. 1, 2, D minor. And you have a C over E, which is a 1 over 3 chord. You've probably seen this before, to maybe a G sus. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sus chord to a 5, which is G. And then back to C, which is the 1. Now you may be asking, why am I calling it 1, 4, 5, and that sort of thing? That's because that is the key to really learning how to transpose. Number 1 in learning how to transpose is you have to know how to play in different keys. You have to know your chords in different keys. If you're going to play in the key of F sharp major, you need to know all of these chords that I just played in F sharp major, and you need to be able to move to those really without thinking about it. Just knowing that, okay, I'm going to play F sharp major, there it is. I'm going to play B, there it is. D sharp minor, there it is. I'm going to play C sharp over E sharp, there it is, back to F sharp. Or I'm going to move back to the key of C. Here's C, I'm going to play F, play G, I'm going to play D, I'm going to play D minor, I'm going to play C over E, I'm going to play B flat, I'm going to play C. And as you noticed, I played some different chords there that are not in the key of C. The reason I did that is I wanted to show you that you need to be able to get to those chords just like that without having to look and think of, okay, where do my hands go? You want to practice, and the easiest way to do that is just to start with a key and practice over and over and over. Set a metronome, practice it over and over again. So if you're doing the key of C, you play C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 2, 3, 4, C over E, 2, 3, 4, G sus, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, and C. And that's just one way of playing those chords in the key of C. Obviously, there are different ways or voicings of these chords, and you have to practice that as well. But you have to first know your chords in a specific key. So let's just say that you know them really well in the key of C and A. Those are your two keys that you're confident in. You can play in the key of C and you can play in the key of A. Now, one of the things that is a little bit of a hindrance is having to think in terms of letters every single time. The reason for that is because you have to have a new chart every time you go to a new key. That's the reason why I mentioned just a few moments ago when I was calling out C, it's the 1, F, 4, G, 5. It's because it's easier to think in terms of numbers than it is letters, especially when you already know your chords. This is what we refer to as the Nashville number system. The reason for that is that in studio sessions, the singer would come in, they'd start, kind of practicing the song and realize, oh, we don't need to do this in the key of A, we need to do it in A flat. Rather than having to chart out a new chart in the key of A flat, everyone already knows their chords in A flat, and they just wrote a numbers chart. Those numbers don't change depending on what key you're in. It's kind of like learning, you hear a lot of people say if you learn Latin, if you can speak Latin, then that's kind of the foundational elements for English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, those kinds of languages. You kind of understand a little bit. It's similar with the number system because every key operates around the same numbers. We have 12 different keys to go through. Every major key has 7 different scale degrees, and you've got all of these chords that are built off the same scale degrees. So for instance, if we were in the key of C, C is the 1, and I go to F, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the 4 chord, and then I go to G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the 5 chord. So I got 1, 4, 5, C, F, G. One more time, 1, 4, 5. Now let's say that A is your new key. So A is the 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. D is the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. E is the 5. Back to the 4 and 1. 4, 5, 4, 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. Now if I go back to C, 1, 4, 5, 4, 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. So now you can see how the numbers translate into all these keys, which makes it really easy, or I say really easy, once you've learned your chords, to be able to transpose to other keys. That's the reason why, now that I've worked on all of these for so many years, when somebody says, hey, I want to do this in the key of F sharp instead of G. G is fairly easy to play because you've only got one sharp, which is F sharp. But we're going to drop this a half step to F sharp, and now I've got a whole lot of sharps to worry about. So instead of thinking, okay, I'm playing in G, and I'm going to play C and D. Now, what does that mean in the key of F sharp? I'm going to play F sharp and C. Nope, that's not right. F sharp and B. As you can see, that can be frustrating. Rather than thinking of it, already knowing your chords, I know my chords in the key of F sharp, I know them in G, now I just need to know the numbers. So we're going to play, say, a 1, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 1. So again, 1, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 1. I'm going to drop that to F sharp. 1, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 1. Again, 1, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, and 1. And now I've transposed from G to F sharp, which is actually a big jump. They're only a half step away, but the feeling is totally different because now we're playing a lot of black keys versus a lot of white keys. So again, that's kind of a tip or trick in learning how to transpose. I know that's probably a lot to take in, but really kind of the two things that you want to learn to do as far as learning how to transpose. Number one, you have to know your chords in the key that you're going to play in. If you're constantly playing in the key of C and A, but now you need to go to the key of F sharp, well, you don't know your chords in F sharp. So learn your chords in the key of F sharp. Learn it in every key. Learn it in C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, all the way through, all 12 of those. And once you've got those comfortable, then start to think in terms of numbers. And even before you learn all of them, you can begin to think in terms of numbers. Just starting, I'm going to move from the key of C to the key of G. Thinking in terms of numbers instead of letters. And your hands, you get all this muscle memory. That's what's key to it. That's the reason why you need to practice all your chords over and over again. You build muscle memory, you build ear memory. Your eyes begin to see the way it needs to go. So you're going to learn your chords, and then you're going to start translating in terms of numbers. And as you do that, you'll begin to learn the number system, which is extremely helpful in learning how to transpose keys.